So recently I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced. And so I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just got lonely and bored. And she had other friends that they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I can hate it.
This is a prime example of a woman making the mistake of leaving a man based on the 90-10 theory. If you guys don't know what the 90-10 theory is, it's where a man can have 90% of what a woman wants in a man, but she becomes so focused on the 10% that man doesn't have that she breaks it off. She lets him go even though he has 90% of what she wants.
I'm going to offer a different perspective that I think a lot of people overlook. I don't think this is a story of a woman that is too focused on the 10% that's missing. I think the real issue is that she was taught, just like a lot of women, to center relationship as the source of her happiness. She was taught that that was her life's purpose. So when her marriage ended and it was gone, she was doing the exact same thing, looking for a relationship to fill that void. But what really bothers me is how scenarios like this are always framed as the woman's failing. If you can't acknowledge that under patriarchy, this is what women are groomed to do, to center men, to center relationships, to center family, to center everything else over themselves, then you're either so deeply lost in your own conditioning or you completely lack empathy. Women are raised to prioritize relationships, to measure our worth on our ability to keep a man happy, to believe that if we just do everything right, we will be fulfilled. That's the bullshit that we're fed. It's no fucking surprise she was unhappy in that marriage. She was playing a role she didn't even choose. It's the framework that's flawed. What if instead of teaching girls to center relationships, we teach them to center themselves? Make it our mission to ensure that they are prioritizing themselves. Teach them to do things that make them happy. Like, if this was our message, I promise you there would be a lot less divorces. Because when those girls become women, they will be coming into relationships with a different energy. And they would be a lot more fucking choosy about who they marry because they don't feel pressured to be married. The reason why women hyper-focus on what a man isn't giving isn't because she's ungrateful. It's because deep down she was never taught how to give to herself first. In fact, she was taught the exact opposite. And then anytime she does try to give to herself, she's told that she's selfish. Family first. Like, I'm genuinely curious if the woman in that story actually wanted that life or if she was just following a set of rules that she was handed. She left a relationship where she prioritized the relationship over herself. But instead of learning how to prioritize herself, she's still searching for a relationship to do that for her. That is why she's struggling. And this isn't a her problem. It's a system problem. And the answer definitely isn't to settle for less. The answer is to not play. When you stop prioritizing relationships and you start prioritizing your own happiness, when you can create a life that brings you joy, that's when the relationship you actually want can finally come in. No, never settle for that 10%.